I'm back with the latest update for the game. Let's take a look at the new stuff first, then I'll go through my plans to share the first build of the game. It's been a while since I made a video because I'm trying to get the game to a stage where it's playable enough for testing and to collect feedback on the core mechanics of the game. So I had to make sure to include the most important features of the game, such as a map, an ability system, a boss fight, and quite a lot more. Let me show you some of the new content. You can now unlock and upgrade various abilities, and some of them come with multiple parameters that can be upgraded. For instance, you can boost the number of lasers that you can shoot at once and increase the damage level. The current user interface does the job for the initial build, but I've already started working on a more polished design. At this stage though, it's not a critical priority, so it will stay as it is for a while. Now with the addition of upgrades, I've revamped the UI so you can see which ability is being used and its cooldown level. I also added energy points that you can collect and spend. So with this out of the way, we now have one progression system in place, which is great. It's feeling more like a game as opposed to a prototype at this point. We've also got a scanner. You can use it from the beginning of the game, and it's used to reveal items that can't be seen otherwise. I might use it for other things, we'll see, but for now, the idea is to let the player retrieve upgrades from pretty much anywhere in the world rather than being forced to go to a specific location. You will learn what element or enemy can drop what, and so you will know to activate the scanner when you need a particular upgrade. I finally added a map. My brother Chris kept asking for this, so I hope that you will be happy with this, bro. Thanks a lot for your help testing the game so far, by the way. We live some 10,000 kilometers away from each other, so at least this game is helping sharing some time together. Alright, we need to add more feature to it because we don't even have point of interest at the moment, but we have the bare minimum and you can see where you are and where you might want to go based on the fog. So it's good enough for now. After that, I added a speed challenge. So this one, I think it will remain as it is, where the reward is a boost upgrade. And it's essentially, the idea is that when you land on this machine, it's activated, but you first need to reach an energy source, which as soon as you touch it, it starts the timer, which for now there is no timer, but essentially you need to reach the machine and activate it before the energy source reaches that point. So pretty standard stuff for Metroidvania type of game. I needed this, so for now, as always, I kept everything to the basics, but it works and it does the job. We'll probably need to improve the 3D models and everything else, but that's it for now. Of course, there will be a leaderboard attached to this type of challenges, but that's definitely for later. Okay, I also added the boss fight. So this is the first boss fight, and I'm experimenting with Niagara's effect. So pretty much the entire enemy is made of visual effects. As always, I'm not quite happy with the final result, but it's pretty good as it is, and with a few tweaks, I think it can look really nice, and the death animation is pretty cool too. So we've got the new boss added in, and yeah, that's great. Much smaller updates. I finally added those dynamic grass that I've been talking about in previous videos. So hopefully I will be able to add more like dynamic elements later on. But that's a nice one. I think it adds it's a nice touch to the overall design of the world. There are some new areas as well, new particle effects. The heads-up display has been updated. We don't have this white border anymore. I think it kind of looked wrong. I added more graphical options to support low and high-end hardware. The lumens option is one that I'm using for those videos, and it looks really good, but it can be demanding. So removing lumens and global illumination, you pretty much double your FPS. Next, I've introduced a few sublevels. The concept is simple. Players take a brief detour from the main exploration to focus on a single task. This approach allows for more challenging obstacles that certain players can choose to skip. When you stumble upon one of these sublevels, you will encounter either a puzzle or a challenge. Once completed, it will reward you or unlock a new pathway. I can create these very quickly, and they are flexible, so that should allow me to make a lot of them, adding more content to the game. It's also adding variety to the level design, so overall I think this is quite a good addition. Let's talk about the demo finally, or the first build of the game. A few weeks ago, a small group of people played the game very briefly, and that made me realize that there is a lot to take care of before releasing the first build of the game. The way I let people play was a bit of a mess, and they ended up seeing just one tiny area of the game. This game requires quite a bit of time to become enjoyable, I think. So I will need to quite dramatically expand the tutorial part of the game, so players get enough time to get familiar with the controls. But I feel that regardless of what I do, there will be a good chunk of players who would uninstall if they can't fly very soon after the first takeoff, because for them it's quite frustrating. I'm still not quite sure what to do there, but I guess I will start by reworking the tutorial areas so it's easier, more fun, and much longer. But unlike the random group of people who try the game, I think that if you are watching my somewhat boring videos, you should have a good idea of what type of game this is, and this is likely the type of game that you would like to play, so your experience of the game should be a lot better, and I think that I should focus more on the target audience for this game rather than trying to make it work for everyone. It's likely a bad decision for the success of the game, but hopefully enough players are looking for this type of experience. Anyway, here is the plan for the demo / first build of the game. I will create a page and let you register for the beta from there. This, or I will launch a small website to let you register directly. I will only send the build to a very few amount of people, and ideally I will find a way to select players who are able to share screen recordings so I can see what's too difficult or hard for players to understand. Lastly, I will add a button to let you submit feedback. Probably it will just be a link to the website where you will find a web form. That's it. For all of this to happen, I think that I will make a shorter version of the game so you could test all the important features quickly and with less like grinding to get all the abilities, for example. Currently, the game is about 1 to 3 hours long, depending on your skills. I will try and keep the first build at around 30 minutes to 1 hour top. So I will let you know just on YouTube here when the demo is ready. I will be very busy this month, so probably I would set the deadline for the build of the game to end of April. I will remind you on YouTube and explain in more details the process. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and I see you next time.